hurt us all.
More teachers getting sexually involved with students. We investigate how this keeps happening and what the state is doing to stop it.
Parents demanding answers after several claims of sexual assaults at schools.
It hurts, you know. You want to see her out there playing?
And a group of high schoolers say they have an angel in the outfield. Nightbeat starts now.
AISD police answering to parents tonight. Officers are taking another look at 3 different cases of alleged sexual assault at 3 Austin schools.
Parents of a Lanier high schooler say AISD police closed their investigation too soon after she said a fellow student assaulted her in the bathroom in 2015. And in 2014 at Hart Elementary, a boy said a school staff member assaulted him in a bathroom. These cases came to light after parents of a 4-year-old girl demanded school police reopen their case, saying medical records showed signs of sexual assault. They say it happened at Boone Elementary, and tonight that's where AISD police met with concerned parents. The Nightbeat's Tina Shively was there.
AISD leaders admit that police made a mistake in this case, but they had a meeting tonight for parents to let them know their children are priority number 1. 2 months after an alleged sexual assault, the mom of 3 Boone Elementary students, Kirsten Walker, is still unnerved.
Horrifying because it's every parent's, worst nightmare.
She is one of hundreds of parents who showed up at Boone Elementary tonight after it came to light that officers did not pick up medical records of a student whose family says she was abused at school. Do you feel like you got answers tonight?
Yes and no. Unfortunately, there was a lot that they couldn't speak about, because it is an open case.
AISD Police Chief Eric Mendez was able to share that while his team made an error,
those medical records were reviewed by the medical professionals assigned to the Center for Child Protection and as a part of the Child Protection team.
The case has been reopened to make sure there were no other missteps. New investigators and new doctors will now look over the documents.
We're not just investigating to determine if the child was harmed here at school. We're following through with the cooperation again with the DA's office. We're going to find out if it wasn't at school, where was it?
Chief Mendez promised to update parents on new information as soon as possible. For now, the teacher accused is back on administrative leave for the 2nd time in 2 months. At Boone Elementary, Tina Shively, KVUE News Nightbeat.
Texas is one step closer to banning so-called sanctuary cities. Today at the Capitol, the House gave final approval to SB 4. It requires law enforcement to honor all ICE detainers and allows officers to ask somebody about their immigration status when they're detained or pulled over, as opposed to only when arrested. The measure led to a 16-hour, often emotional debate, with House Democrats trying to stop it before the final vote, but it ultimately passed along party lines. A conference committee will now work out the differences between the House and Senate version of that bill.
It's been 1 month since 16-year-old Bryn Ayler was killed in a car accident just south of downtown Buda. Her death rocked the Hays County community, but as the Nightbeat's Chris Betts explains tonight, they're honoring the teen in a very special way.
Well, Quinn and Mike, take a look around me. The bleachers here are packed. There are fans lining the fences to watch this Hays ISD softball playoff game. But the one person who couldn't be here tonight is the one on the minds of every player on that field. It should have been the jersey Bryn Ayler wore on the night her team battled for a spot in the playoffs.
For us, it's a lucky number.
Lucky number 13. It was the Hays County sophomore's number, a number each teammate now represents on the field and in the dugout. After losing Bryn in a car accident 4 weeks ago.
It hurts, you want to see her out there playing?
Thomas Ayler is Bryn's father.
There's a hole for sure in our hearts and in our, in everyday life.
Her smile lit up the room. As soon as you saw it, you're like, oh, I for sure want to be friends with her.
Carrie Luke was Bryn's teammate and best friend. She says the 16-year-old with an infectious smile was someone you just wanted to be around, and an aggressive player.
She would dive for anything, and she'd try so hard to catch every ball that came at her.
Thursday, as Carrie and her team prepped for the big by-district game, she says they can't help but think tonight Bryn will be there too.
Last game that we played here, the scoreboard was actually 13-0, and as soon as we scored the 13th run, like a light shined in the outfield, and everybody thought it was her because it was like 13-0.
With the innings underway, the bases loaded, and the pressure on, there's Bryn's sign in the background, their angel in the outfield.
Just knowing that she's like here with us and supporting us throughout the way is what helps us get there.
Bryn's jersey now rests on her father's lap while he cheers on his daughter's team, and his daughter watches over the players. A scholarship has been set up in Bryn's name now to help other young athletes just like her. And to find out more information about that, you can click on this story on KVUE.com. Reporting in Hays County, Chris Betts, KVUE News Nightbeat.
Breaking news right now at 10. Police are in a SWAT standoff situation in Cedar Park. SWAT teams were called out to the Muir Lake Apartments on Avery Ranch Boulevard near US 183 and Lakeline Boulevard. We have a crew on the way, and we'll bring you the latest.
President Trump says his tax plan will pay for itself with the economic growth the cuts will bring. But experts say that's never happened. The huge tax cuts under Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush contributed to years of deficits. The president's overhaul includes raising the standard deduction to $24,000, and that could provide significant tax relief to middle-income families. But whether they pay more or less depends largely on details that have yet to be released.
It's trending across Texas tonight. A Lufkin kindergarten teacher is accused of having sex with 4 high schoolers on multiple occasions. She joins hundreds of other teachers accused of preying on teens. And right now, the number of investigations into inappropriate student-teacher relationships are the highest it's ever been. And state officials say they're increasing at an alarming rate. So how does this keep happening? In a Defender's investigation, Christy Millward shows us why seemingly everyone, from state leaders to fellow teachers, is fed up with the trend.
Mike and Quita, we dug into the data, and in the past 2.5 years, the Texas Education Agency has investigated more than 700 cases of inappropriate relationships in the state. Of those, we found at least 30 were right here in Central Texas.
You need to recheck. Just because you've changed the words doesn't mean what you've written has made sense.
4th grade teacher Stephanie Stobie works to inspire her students.
I love teaching. I love to teach.
She's won the Texas Secondary Teacher of the Year award, was a finalist for the HEB Teacher of the Year, and had a 100% pass rate for the STAR test.
I work hard. Long hours, after school, on weekends.
When Stephanie sees a snapshot like this of teachers just in Central Texas investigated for an inappropriate relationship with a student, she gets furious.
Most of us are like, why? Why go into education? Why go into a profession who's supposed to better a child, to make their life richer, and then do something which hurts them?
Like the vast majority of teachers, Stephanie works to make her classroom a safe place for kids, a feeling that can be tarnished when other teachers make bad decisions.
It hurts us all.
I think it is important not to paint the entire profession with that one brush.
Attorney Paul Tapp, who works for the Association of Texas Professional Educators, says there are almost 400,000 teachers in the state and says it's a small number who cross the line, but agrees that number is still too high.
Certainly one case is one case too many.
There are cases that go to Doug Phillips, the Director of Educator Investigations for the TEA.
You'll see it across the board, from West Texas to East Texas to large schools and small schools. Some really small schools. Nobody's immune from this.
The education agency reports there are more of these cases each year. For the 2008 to 2009 school year, TEA investigated 123 cases statewide of inappropriate relationships between a student and educator. The following year, 141. It increased every year until the highest number in the 2015 to 2016 school year of 222. Already this school year to date, they've seen 159 cases. And here's something all you parents need to know. Phillips says a vast majority of these relationships, as much as 90% of them, start through texting or social media.
My feeling is that over the years, the ability to use electronic and social media has certainly created a situation where it's easier to become involved in these sorts of inappropriate relationship and engage in inappropriate behavior.
And the TEA doesn't have enough people to investigate all these cases. As an emergency item, they're asking lawmakers for almost $400,000 to add more investigators.
Our whole goal here is to make sure we keep kids safe.
And getting to each case and resolving it is critical to protecting kids, because unresolved cases sometimes mean the accused teacher can stay on the job waiting for the investigation. Phillips added that while texting and social media is driving the increase in inappropriate teacher-student relationships, it also helps solve these cases.
It leaves a trail.
A trail he says everyone now seems eager to find and stop.
I think we're seeing a shift here now where there's more reporting by districts, which is a very good thing.
There has been a very definite push on every level to take this seriously. I think it's something that everyone does take very seriously. This isn't flying under the radar anymore.
Texas lawmakers agree. Several legislators have proposed bills aimed to prevent these types of inappropriate relationships, including Representative Tony Dale.
One way or another, we're going to have some legislation that addresses this issue.
The proposed legislation could do anything from require training for teachers to forcing districts to create an electronic communication policy between teachers and students to legally requiring principals to report an inappropriate relationship, which right now only falls on superintendents.
I think there's been cases in the past where the principals have failed to report it up. Or it just gets lost between the principal and superintendent, especially in large districts where you have HR and other places it could get lost in between.
Phillips tells me the TEA is starting training in the Austin region on how fellow teachers can spot and stop these inappropriate interactions before they go too far.
We've kind of tired of just sitting back and reacting.
Teacher Association ATPE also offers a training for future teachers, hoping to prevent any inappropriate student-teacher relationship.
Well, of course, one case is too many. Again, anything that we can do that can stop this from happening is something that we should do.
Which brings us back to Stephanie Stobie, a teacher hurt by what is happening to students victimized by inappropriate relationships and fed up with the few teachers causing so much pain.
I get very frustrated after working so hard when I hear people in the community or people in society paint me as a public educator with the same brush as the less than 1% who have perhaps committed a crime.
Here's one more thing for parents to know. The TEA can only regulate teachers who are certified. School districts of innovation and private schools aren't required to hire certified teachers. So if your child goes to a private school, you may want to talk to the school about their reporting policies, because by law, private schools are not obligated to report any misconduct. Christy Millward, KVUE News.
A lot of good information in there. Christy, thank you. AT&T boasting big claims about a new 5G network coming to Austin. We verify it.
And a dad jumps out of a plane, all in the name of love.
Myles Garrett must have known what would happen in the draft tonight. He was well prepared with a T-shirt representing his new home. Draft news coming up later in sports.
Well, what a difference a night makes. This time yesterday, low humidity, cool temperatures were much, much milder in the 70s tonight. The humidity on the rise. Highs today in the 80s, a lot hotter tomorrow. Heat indices near 100. Details coming up.
One North Texas couple did more than just think outside the box for their special gender reveal announcement. They opted to fall 17,000 feet. Upon learning they were expecting their third child, this couple chose to have the father jump out of a plane. The mystery revealed with the color of his parachute. Hey, it's pink.
Oh, boy.
You know what? I assume you did not do that with the birth of your children.
I'm just so thankful that this reveal party thing was not around when my kids were born.
Oh, my, I can only imagine what you would have done.
It's like something else to worry about, you know? Oh, just whatever.
It all started off with colored cupcakes, and now we're Skydiving.
Now we're
Right.
skydiving.
What's the bar continues to
I don't
go
even
up.
want to know what's coming next.
It's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, hey, today's weather was pretty nice outside.
Yeah.
But
Beautiful.
We're in for a big heat up then for this for tomorrow, especially, huh?
Yeah, it's not just the temperatures, but it's the humidity. And when we combine both, we're talking about heat indices in the upper 90s and in some cases close to 100. So let's talk about your Friday forecast hour by hour. And we'll start off with a lot of clouds. The moisture is coming back, and instead of 40s and 50s like this morning, Friday morning near 70 at 69. And then notice in the afternoon, upper 80s to right around low 90s with sunshine, gusty south winds, but factor in the humidity with that 91. It's going to feel like 97 degrees with the heat index. Moisture on the increase off the Gulf of Mexico ahead of this developing area of low pressure over the Rockies. Doesn't look like much right now, but watch what happens over the next 2 days. Kind of gets its act together. It'll pinwheel a front through the state of Texas late in the day on Saturday, in particular Saturday night, and that front is going to pile in right on top of this very warm, humid, unstable air mass, and that's why thunderstorms are in the forecast for Saturday evening, Saturday night. Let's talk about it with our high-resolution hour-by-hour forecast. Now, we're dry tonight, but watch the clouds increase. So, gloomy start to the day, more sun in the afternoon, strong southerly winds propelling temperatures into the low 90s. And then if you're up early Saturday morning, that moisture just continues to add up. So, fog, patchy areas of drizzle to start Saturday. In the afternoon, may have to dodge a shower or two, but keep your plans for Saturday afternoon, even early evening. We're going to hold off on the best thunderstorm chances until Saturday late evening and overnight as that front moves in. With it, a line of thunderstorms, and some of which could be strong to severe. In yellow, a slight risk for severe weather includes Austin. That's for the scattered thunderstorm potential of severe weather. And here in orange, that's an enhanced risk of severe weather, a little bit more widespread, a little bit more numerous. So the greatest risk of severe weather, just the northeast of Austin. That doesn't include places like Thorndale and Thrall and Rockdale and Cameron, Giddings, Lexington, Leakin. You're included in that enhanced risk for that thunderstorm activity on Saturday night. Hail and wind look to be the main threats with those thunderstorms, not flash flooding, maybe as much as 1.5 inches of rainfall in a few spots. But dry tonight, but the humidity is on the rise. Mostly cloudy, 69 degrees, 91 tomorrow. Clouds in the morning, more sun in the afternoon, and again, factor in that muggy air, and it's going to feel like 97 degrees. Under the microscope today, we just found mold. We could see trace amounts of pecan and grass. We'll keep you updated every day in the Statesman. Tonight's KVUE Weather Snapshot from Dripping Springs, courtesy of Buddy Park. Sunset from yesterday. Send me your photo snapshot at KVUE.com. So windy and hot tomorrow. A couple of showers Saturday, but again, we'll hold off on the best thunderstorm chances Saturday evening, Saturday night, some of which could be strong. Cool, breezy, but dry Sunday afternoon. Back in the 80s by Monday.
All right, hoping that rain just holds off.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping it's right because I got to get that forecast right. The bosses are watching tonight.
Oh, that's true. Thanks, Albert.
Okay.
Well, faster service on your phone. AT&T claims it's rolling out a new generation of technology.
But are those claims true? We verify it next. AT&T is receiving some negative attention this week over a new campaign launched right here in Austin. The cellular giant unveiled what it calls 5G evolution in Austin Tuesday. But hundreds of people on the internet disagree, saying it's not 5G at all.
Well, to clear it all up, the Nightbeat's Jason Puckett joins us tonight to verify, do we have 5G service here in Austin?
Our sources to verify the claims are AT&T's own releases on the matter and statements and standards from 3GPP. They're the group who defines what exactly 3G, 4G, and 5G actually mean. Now, for background, that G just means generation. So 5G, the 5th generation, has been talked about a lot. Carriers now competing to have the fastest, most widespread technology with speeds, we're told, 10 to hundreds of times faster than they are now. AT&T told us they couldn't comment directly on this, but in a release earlier this year, John Donovan, who's the company's chief strategy officer, said, quote, "We're not waiting until final standards are set." Now, what he's acknowledging is that currently there are no actual standards defining 5G. Again, the group who defines that, 3GPP, haven't done so yet. So what that means is since new standards aren't out, about the only thing that is clear is that 5G can't come from old technology. And there's the hiccup. The tech mentioned in the AT&T release, as you can see there, may indeed make speeds faster, but it achieves that simply by upgrading 4G tech. Perhaps AT&T Senior Vice President Tom Keithley said it best last year in a blog post. He wrote, quote, "When it comes down to it, claims of a 5G deployment in 2016 are a little more than marketing ploys. They're hyping up a technology that won't be available or deployed widely until 2020 and beyond." To recap, since AT&T's system uses existing 4G tech, we can verify tonight that the claims of 5G service here in Austin are false. I'm Jason Puckett, KVUE News Nightbeat.
Thanks, Jason. And if you're not sure if a video, picture, or tweet is real, you can ask us to verify it using the hashtag verify on social media, or you can send us an email to verify@kvue.com. And we'll be right back with sports.
The Myles Garrett family had a draft party in Arlington tonight, pretty confident that they wouldn't have to wait very long for his name to be called. And the Browns decided to take a wise approach, and this was the reaction when his name was announced. Myles Garrett goes #1 and gets to try and turn things around in Cleveland. KVUE Sean Clinch joins us from the newsroom with more on the Aggie, who was the first pick.
Well, the Browns are a franchise which has won a total of 20 games since 2012. Needless to say, Cleveland needs an infusion of talent, a lot of it on both sides of the ball. Now, the Browns now have a rookie playmaker on defense. The pride of Arlington, Texas, Myles Garrett became the 5th player from the SEC in 11 years to be selected first in the NFL draft. And now, in this draft alone, 3 of the first 6 selections are from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, including Garrett, a fact the Texas A&M defensive end takes pride in.
It ain't easy. If you want to be good, and you come through here, you got to be one of the best. There's great players all around the DFW area and all around Texas, and that's what we're known for, is playing ball. And you got to be tough and you got to be committed. You got to be all in every single practice, every single day, and it got to mean something to you. And if it does, maybe you'll be up here one day.
Well, Myles Garrett absolutely made it, and he'll soon add a few zeros to his bank account. Listen to this. According to Forbes.com, Garrett will receive a $20 million signing bonus. That alone justifies Garrett's decision to leave Texas A&M prior to his senior season. Live in the newsroom, Sean Clinch, KVUE Sports Nightbeat.
Thanks, Sean. How about Patrick Mahomes? The Tech quarterback goes up to #10 to Kansas City.
I knew there was a chance, but until it happens, you never know. And I was nervous on that couch, but it's sure excitement whenever I got picked. And, I mean, you can't explain the feeling.
And the Texans finally get a quarterback. It's Deshaun Watson from Clemson.
You're getting a guy that's going to come in and work, play his role, learn from Tom Savage and Brandon Whedon. You know, whenever my name is called, my opportunity is called, I'm going to take advantage of it. And I can't wait to get to Houston and call it my new city.
And the Cowboys just got a guy named Taco. We'll be right back.
No need for that jacket tomorrow morning. Upper 60s to start the day. We're in the 90s in the afternoon. Factor in the humidity. It's going to feel like 97 with the heat index. A couple of showers Saturday. Best chance of thunderstorms, though, will be Saturday night. Some of those could be strong.
All right. Thanks, Albert. And thanks for letting us be a part of your night.
Hope you'll join us at 4:30 a.m. for Daybreak.